All right, what's going on, guys? I hope you're having a good morning so far. Today is Tuesday, January 14th of 2020, 10:11 a.m. My time. It is 16:11 UTC, and Bitcoin is trading at $8,625. So, been a really interesting week so far. Only Tuesday, but we've moved quite a bit off of the weekly open. But let's just go ahead and look at the high time frame. And yeah, we'll start at the monthly. So looking at the monthly, same levels here. Had this candle marked out as a key range. Um, once we closed above it, used it as support here, here, and here. Closed below that level, retested it as resistance, pushed down, took out the low, and consolidated. Off the monthly open here, we have set a lower wick, pushed up. We have broken the key range, and we are now above this resistance level. This resistance level is basically just the up move before the down move that broke the lows. So essentially just a supply zone on the monthly time frame. I just have it marked out with a line. So until we close above that on the monthly time frame, then it should be acting as resistance. We might have flipped it on lower time frame, but for confirmation of a breakout of these levels, since they are monthly levels, we need to wait for a monthly close. Looking at the weekly here, a pretty strong move so far. If you look here on this candle, well, actually, I'll start here. Once we took out the low, closed as a SFP, we consolidated, and this candle was the first higher high. So if you look, we have a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, another lower high, lower high, lower high, and then lower high. This candle was the first one to take out a high, either the previous candle's high or in general just a higher high using the wicks. Consolidated, took out this low, pushed up, closed above the range. So I was looking for SFP of the range high here to determine if we were going to pull back or not. We closed above it. So I'm going to delete that. And we actually pushed up into this monthly level, pushed above it, closed below it. But so far, we have not pulled back. Usually, whenever we see price push into a level and close, below it in this example here, since it's resistance, we usually see a pullback. So far, we have not got that. We have set a lower wick on Monday, below the weekly open, and now we have pushed up, taking out last week's high, and now we're above the monthly level. So we consolidated here. So after this candle that broke down and got us here, we consolidated for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. So essentially 6 weeks, and got a 15% breakout. So essentially, I think that we are out of this range. We'll have to look at lower time frames to determine if we are at some different resistance levels, because right now I don't really have too many resistance levels. I think the next key one would be up here. And that's just essentially the lowest close of this consolidation range. You can see came down, closed here, price pushed up off the open, used it as support here and here as well. Price closed or broke and closed below it, consolidated off this big 40% pump or whatever it was. We pushed right up into it, closed right at that level. You see used as resistance here and here. Price went lower. So yeah, guys, this is probably the next high time frame resistance level. We might be at some resistance levels here on the daily or lower time frame, but on a weekly time frame, 95.30 is the next resistance level. If we were to close above this monthly level here at 8,300 on the weekly or on the monthly, that would be really, really bullish in my opinion, because we've clearly broken out of this range with a strong breakout here. On the next candle, we have not retraced. We basically have just taken out the high again. So, we could be looking at pretty much a trend change. Now, I still need to see some more confirmation of this, but which would be that monthly close outside of the monthly level. So if we close above here, above the monthly level on weekly, we might come back down to retest it and then move higher. We'll have to see how the weekly closes. Since it's only Tuesday, I mean, we still have the majority of the week left. So looking at the daily, see price consolidated here for what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So essentially almost a week. We have broken this consolidation, took out the high. So I'm going to mark out this high. I'm watching for a daily close below 84.62. That's kind of my key level for today's close. I did have this supply zone marked out. It was the consolidation before the sell-off that broke the lows. Price came up, tapped that level, got rejected, came back and retested that, that monthly key range as support here. Pushed up, consolidated, now we've taken out the high. So if this is a range here, right, we have the high and the low down here. If price takes out the high, say we do close as the SFP, so that would be a close below 462. Close below that, you guys know in a range, if we have a high and a low, say this is a range, price sets a high, price sets a low, consolidate. If we take out the high, you expect price to come back down and take out the low, right? If we set the high and the low, price consolidates, we take out the low, then you expect to go for the high. So now that we've taken out the high, also we are right into the ATR. You can see here on a daily time frame, it's been pretty good at catching the overall trend here. We got the sell signal once we broke down. Finally, once we broke out of it here, signal to buy signal, or gave us a buy signal, and pretty much started off the bull market. Would have captured this whole move. Basically all the way up here. Finally, once we broke down out of 10K, that huge sell-off, we flipped and got a sell signal. Price consolidated, pushed up off that 40% pump, tapped the ATR, and that was the high basically. Basically retraced that whole move after that. So that was a powerful level there at the ATR. You can see now, essentially, front run it barely here, but on this candle we have tested it. So a test of the ATR usually will reject price. So it kind of lines up. If we're gonna get a daily SFP, like if we close below here, that would basically be a daily SFP of the range high into the daily ATR, and then this kind of supply zone here. I guess could mark out this here. Essentially just this up move before this down move, but I would say the key supply zone was this here. So I'm going to delete that. If we do get that SFP, like I said, I'll be looking at the range low. That might take, a couple days. I don't expect just to get an SFP and immediately come down here tomorrow. But yeah, guys, I think that's it on the daily. Let me see here on H4. So you can see that clean SFP level here, right? That I set on the high, or on the high on the daily. We closed above it here, closed above it here, retested it, pushed higher. So what I would need to see is, I think, essentially if we're going to get that daily close below there, we would need to see a breakdown in the next 4 or 8 hours, retest, and then come back down here, is what I think. There's probably some obvious stops down here, considering, we consolidated here for 3 days and did not take out the lows before we went up. So there's probably, some liquidity down here. People had their stops down here, I'm sure, and I guarantee a ton of late longs have piled in up here. So a daily SFP could easily ruin a lot of longs, could take them out, essentially just come for this liquidity and maybe come down here for the range low. If we get a daily close above this level, I'd be looking for this range to form. If we were lucky enough, we would get a sweep of the low and then we could push higher. But that all depends on the daily close for me, because like I said, we get that daily SFP, I'm looking for more downside. Get that daily close above it, I would look for more consolidation. And I would like to see a sweep of the low, because I don't want to just enter up here with no proper entry trigger. So yeah, but essentially we had a really small range on Monday. Like this is the high and this is the low on Monday. We have closed above Monday's high. So typically once we close beyond Monday's range, we typically trend in that direction for the next couple days. But that only works really well in, whenever we have trending weeks. Whenever we have chop and just like a ranging week, sometimes we will, consolidate around the weekly open and chop back and forth. So it really depends on how the daily closes and how we move off the open tomorrow. But let's see about some positions that I would take. If we did get that daily SFP, I would wait for, obviously, we'd have to wait for the close to see that. Off the open, if price is below the daily open, I think that you could probably short that. Say we come back down here, the daily closes like, the daily closes right here. So just say price comes back down here, closes below that SFP level off the open here. This white line here is going to be the open. Say price pushes up for the first hour, retests that level, and then comes and closes below the daily open. That would be my short trigger. I would enter here, stop above here. I would target first down here and then down here. So I know that's kind of messy, but I hope you got the, the idea there. Basically, wait for that SFP, wait for the daily open. If price closes below the daily open, you could take a short position, stop above this SFP level or above this high, and then target the clear liquidity levels and the range low. If we close above here, say price just consolidates, we stay above here, I would wait for price to give us a wick below, maybe close back up here, and then you can look to take it higher. There are some levels here I'm sure you could use as resistance, maybe like this. Yeah, so that was basically the lowest close of this consolidation range, right? Price used it as support here, kind of here, close below it right here. Man, these candle closes, some people don't like them in crypto or just in trading in general to use these candle closes like this, but I mean, it literally works so well. You can see this was the lowest close of the consolidation range, used as support, no closes below it. As soon as we get this one candle that closes below the level, price sells off, right? Consolidates, comes back up to retest this little supply zone. Right, perfect wick into it. This was the consolidation or up move before the down move that broke market structure. And then price sold off after that. So if I was going to take a long position up here, if we did not get that daily SFP, and if we were able to get that sweep of the lows down here or something, then I would target 9K. Above that would be 95.30. You would probably want to be taking profit up here. That's a pretty extreme move from the lows. So I would definitely be looking to take profit right now if you're not already. If you haven't already taken profit on your longs. A short position, you could take it right now, but really I would wait for that confirmation just so you can be more confident in that position and, just have a better idea of what should happen. Just because something should happen doesn't mean it will happen, but using confirmation is always better in my opinion. So guys, I think that's pretty much it. Let me just give you a quick overview, even though I kind of said it quite a bit. We have this key range. I think if we get a daily SFP, which would be a daily close below this level here at 84.62, a daily close below that, wait for a breakdown off the open, close below the daily open tomorrow, could be a short down to the clear liquidity levels at 8K, and then at 8,700 around here. And then you could get in that short position, like I said. If you were to want to take a long here, you would probably need to wait for price to close above this level, consolidate, take out the lows, then you push higher. If this level around here holds as support, around the weekly open here, then that's fine. You can look to buy down there. But yeah, guys, I just like to take it one day at a time. So we will wait for confirmation and then get in off the daily open if there's an opportunity. I would not advise anybody to just be buying right now. It kind of sucks missing this move if you didn't get in on any of it. Basically, we took out the low, found support, and we pushed up, 27%. So something that I wish I had the chart handy. It's somewhere in my trading journal, but you're just going to take my word for it. Essentially, any moves above, any daily swing moves above 15%, if you will wait for a bearish candle to close, it's usually a good idea to fade that. Any moves like from 15%, around 20% in that range, if you wait for a daily close to close as a bearish candle, it's usually a good idea to fade. But yeah, guys, we're right here against the ATR, closes the SFP. I think we get more downside. But that should be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you'd like to see any specific videos besides these analysis videos, make sure to comment below and let me know, or just DM me on Twitter. Whatever, just let me know what you guys want to see if you like these analysis videos. And yeah, guys, I will talk to you in the next video. Thanks.